What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers? It is Wednesday, October 3rd, the opening night of the National Hockey League, also wild card number 2, ready to rock. Congratulations and a shout out to those of you who had the Colorado Rockies yesterday. I was doing my hockey pool all night, got myself a great team. Nathan McKinnon in the first round, Alexander Barkov in the second round. Very excited about my team, and I watched all 13 innings of that baseball game. Also, shout out to the guys on King's Court. Killing it last night. All you guys, including our own Dan Kelly, all you guys on the Cavs +8 was gorgeous. Also, I watched Ski and King Rail in play. Charlotte last night when they were down, and Charlotte ended up winning easily. Beautiful work. Great job, you guys. And I am so excited. NHL is here. And it just means so much to me. I just love this sport so much. We all have one sport that we're best at. For me, growing up, it was probably jerking and choking, second to hockey, which I was really good at. And I feel like I have a good read of teams, although it is tough early in the year. I said yesterday I didn't want to make too many plays on this opening night card. I have changed that around. I'm adding a bunch of plays today. Let's get after it. We got a great group with us already, and shout out to you guys in the chat for joining us. Lamont Williams, great job on the Colorado Rockies, and Rockies full game under. Respect. My man Robert Johnson says, I can't remember what MLB is. It was a nightmare. Mine as well, unless, of course, the A's win the AL, and then it will be a glorious sport that we all enjoy capping. My man Flipper13, Nut Flush Allen in the house, Jason Bernard, JP, Underdog, Brian Watson, not applicable, my guy, doesn't like my jersey, Underdog, my man, need 4 tips, man, Alex joining us, who's just been absolutely killing it in soccer, wonderful, thank you so much for joining us, Alex, what a treat it is to run with you, my man, Bill Butlicker, also shouting out the guys on King Court who put them on Rockets, -6.5, Man, there's going to be live play glory on that show this year. Mr. Gokster in the house. Adam Lopez says, tell me you're on the Flames. Yes, I didn't want to do it. I don't like going against teams on their home opener. I just saw that Sportsbook's play of the day is the Bruins. I'm not taking that, but I do have a play in that game. But yes, I have decided that I must fade my Vancouver Knuckleheads. I must do it. And I'm going to take the Flames on the puck line tonight. Devin Wade in the house. Anil Frank. Carlos Looters in the house. Kamat K in the house. Morning Go Oakland. Beautiful. Beautiful. Noah Lastark was in California with my daughter celebrating our birthdays. Let's get back to cash. Great to have you back, Noah Lastark. Paul Sargent, Leroy Flood. Let's get to business. Let's not fool around too much. I know that there's not a ton of games, but there's a ton to talk about because we're going to break through the NHL games. I've already sent in my futures. I can go over them briefly. I can answer any questions you guys want. And then I'm going to make my plays. Then we're going to go over the wild card, hit that really hard, and then keep hammering NFL, keep hammering NCAA football. I made my first 4 plays on this NFL card yesterday after I was done the Audible with Donnie Rightside, and I'm ready to get to business. Elio Rodriguez, Vegas Gun, beautiful day, Jimmy Vegas Gun. We have so much love for you. You are such an inspiring part of the Low Bag family, and just mad love for you. Sasana, worried about Flames' 7-year curse of not winning opening night. I'm not. We will go into that when we break down this Canucks roster. D Bankroll in the house. All right, Mr. Gokster says, so far I beat all the line moves in the NHL. I tried so hard not to make, too many plays, but I just can't help myself. When there's money being made, let's get after it. So the one play I have already made official is the Leafs -1.5. Let's get up sportsbookreview.com. Let's get up their odds page so we can see the latest movements in the market moves here today. Let's get a good look at what it is and what it isn't. So as you guys know, my first play that I made official a couple days ago was the Toronto Maple Leafs on the puck line. Fading this Montreal Canadiens team is going to give me great joy and put a lot of money in my pocket. Wow, look at that line move. I got it at +140. There's still a +120 at Pinnacle. Bet online down to +113. This is on the -1.5. Wow. Wow. And I should have done this. Even earlier than that. I could have got +145 and +150, but that's no problem. And beating NHL line moves are something that we do regularly. And it means we have to put plays in the morning, and that could be dangerous. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze. Lamont Williams says San Jose -1.5. Oh, I'm trying not to sneeze. Sorry. Yes, I will be on that. Gate Pass Key is Boston in regulation. Gate Pass Key, one of our best NHL cappers, who I'm so happy is back in action with us. Gate Pass Key brought me on a play, put me on a play that I'm going to jump all over, thanks to Gate Pass Key. And, I wasn't going to make this play, but I thought to myself, I think this play hits more than 55% of the time, and I'm going to take it. Gate Pass Key says, looking at the Bruins game, I'm still looking for a slow first period start after the delay. The delay being because the banners are coming up in Washington. The line will get flowing, heat up in the second period. Marchand and the line, possibly the best line of hockey, Marchand, Bergeron, Pasternak, will get flowing, heat up in the second period, and Shell, Holtby, first period under, second period over. I like that. Let's get down to business. First off, I'm on the Leafs -1.5. I got it at +140. Big beating of the line move, at least 20 cents. The John Tavares era begins. He begins on the line with Mitch Marner and Zach Hyman. Austin Matthews will be on the second line between Patrick Marleau and Tyler Ennis. And still the big question around the Leafs is what the hell are they going to do with William Nylander, who is unsigned, and he's a huge asset to that team. He's so much skill. They need him on this hockey team. The Canadians made 2 big offseason deals, and both were awful. Both deals, they did not get enough back in return. Now, you know what? The Galchenyuk for Domi trade, I don't think was that awful. I'm not a believer in Galchenyuk, and I do think that Domi will be able to fill a role in this NHL career. I just am not sure if that's a top 6 spot. Josef Tucker back in action. This is great. Trenton Claxton on the Vancouver over. I almost made that play. I know my man Freddie Fortune is on that play. Jim Rome Dude says Bergeron still hurt. As far as we know, Bergeron will be in action here. Mr. J says, just sneeze and you'll feel awesome. I'm good. I'm ready to go. Non-applicable said, I think Boston beats Washington. Tomer said, I think the environment will be great in Washington, raising the banners. They won't want to lose at home with Pittsburgh on deck on the road. Let's get to that game as soon as we get past this Leafs Habs game, and let's let Robert Johnson roll us into this. Historically, Montreal strong against Toronto, absolutely, but not the last few years. Actually, they still were a mistake last year, especially second half of the season when you take the Leafs on the puck line against these Habs. The Habs do play these Leafs hard, but it says Toronto far better team now, intent on the Stanley Cup and now capable, while Montreal is in very bad shape all around. I think that is well put. So Brian S. NHL opening night over trends: 3 out of 4 in 2017, and 9 out of 12 night 2. Very interesting. 2016, 3 out of 4 night 1, and 8 out of 13 night 2. Brian S. That's incredible stuff. Lady A says, hey, Jimmy, good to be back. Hyped for the NHL season. Let's roll. Lady A, I love having all the people who have, took a little break over the summer and didn't let baseball ruin their budget, who are ready to rock in the NHL. Marty Muerte, NHL ready. Melee Payless Way on Atletico Madrid, -1.5. Keep an eye on that. Melee Payless Way smashes soccer. So, yes, the Canadians traded Galchenyuk to the Coyotes, and they traded Pacioretty to the Golden Knights. The trade to the Golden Knights was bad. They got Thomas Tatar, who they're using as a first-line right winger, whom I don't think is even capable of really being a top 6 forward. I mean, the Golden Knights had him as a healthy scratch when they were running in the Stanley Cup at times. And the second-round traffic, and Nick Suzuki, who's a prospect. The Canadians also named Shea Weber as the 30th captain in the team's history. Let's go back to another awful trade that Bergevin made. He should not have traded Subban for Weber. We knew that it might work for a couple months, but 2-3 years down the line, you're going to have an albatross contract around your neck while Subban will be still playing good hockey. Weber underwent offseason knee surgery. He won't be able to play until mid-December. This team will be awful. Their first line is Philip Deneau, Brendan Gallagher, and Thomas Tatar. Jonathan Drouin is their third-line center. He's just not a character guy. He's not somebody you can count on. So, yes, I'm on the Leafs, -1.5. Let's keep rolling. Why don't we hit Gate Pass Key? I'm going to copy and paste Gate Pass Key's comment on the Knuckleheads, because we run with some absolutely great cappers. Oh, and Lou H is backing the Atletico Madrid -1.5. That sounds like a play when both Melee Payless Way and Lou H are on a play. That sounds like a play I should be on too, so I'm going to copy and paste that. When does the Atletico Madrid game start? Do I have time to bet it after the show, or do I need to do it while I'm on? Can you please let me know? The soccer guys that we have rolling with us. Wow, Mr. Gokster would even take Toronto, and I'm sure that's a -2. Not applicable, says Weber, falling apart. Underdog saying Subban is good. I agree. I know he takes a lot of heat. Okay, let's move on to the next Eastern Conference game. And this is a game that Gate Pass Key has got me on, and I have not made this bet. Actually, I haven't made my secondary bets yet, so I will do that after this show. I've only got my first one. Bruins at Capitals. I am agreeing with Gate Pass Key. And I'm taking a plus line. Let me just pull it out here. I'm taking a plus line on no score before 9 minutes and 30 seconds are elapsed. That's available at Bet365. Now, if you take a goal to be scored in the first 9.5 minutes, that's -150. Big favorite line. But no goal in the first 9 minutes and 30 seconds is +110. I was hesitant to make this move. I was not very successful with this move last year. Started doing it more near the end of the season. I'm taking it here. No score before 9 minutes and 30 seconds have elapsed at +110. Available at Bet365. My man Dave Huang back in action. NHL's back. Love the over in the Leafs game. I can understand it. Carlos Lewis says starts in 3 hours. Thank you. Okay. Bruins Capitals. Capitals begin their defense of the Stanley Cup. And they meet the big bad Bruins, who ended last year on a 50-20 run, but disappointed a lot of people in the playoffs. Often teams come out sluggish after a long Stanley Cup banner ceremony. I think that's what's going to happen here. Their roster is almost completely unchanged, except for new coach Todd Reirden will make his debut. He's been assistant coach with the Caps since 2014. Washington will be without Tom Wilson. That's a big loss, a very big loss. This guy, you have to keep your head up when you're on the ice, because you know that Tom Wilson will take your head off if you don't. And he's a key cog in this Capitals lineup. Brett Connolly will replace him on the first line. I believe that this is a lot of juice. Yeah, Eli Rodriguez says -150, +110. I like the +110 spot. Not applicable on no score in the first. I'm on no score in the first 9.5 minutes, which I really like. So back to this team. I think this Capitals team has become old very quickly. I think there's a changing of the guard that's going to happen in the NHL this year. And those teams that we've seen for the last 5-10 years dominate their divisions are on the out. The Chicago Blackhawks began that trend last year where we saw the old out. We saw, that formidable group of Kane and Taves and Keith and Seabrook all of a sudden look old. Not as much Kane and Keith, but certainly, Taves, we know what we're getting. We can't expect 75 points. He's going to be a 50-point guy. He's going to be a leader, and he's going to be, good at both ends of the rink. But Seabrook looks like he's on his way out. Jason Bernard said that Caps pen's going to be interesting. Yes, it is going to be interesting. Boston will be missing a key player as well. So the Capitals are missing Tom Wilson. The Bruins are going to miss Torrey Krug, which I know that this total is juiced to the over. Without Torrey Krug on the power play, I feel like they're just not. We've seen how talented he is, quarterback in that power play. Now, in saying all that, so Krug isn't a walking boot. He'll be evaluated in 3 weeks. There may not be a more dangerous first line of hockey than Bergeron, Marchand, and Pasternak. They can hurt me immediately, but that's my play. I'm on no score in the first 9 minutes and 30 seconds at +110. Underdog says Tom Wilson, a lot of good hits in the playoffs. Tom Wilson is nasty, just a nasty player. I had drinks with a childhood friend of his, a brother and sister that grew up with him, and they said that all their dad ever talks about is Tom Wilson and the heart of Tom Wilson and grinding out in the corners. Keep your head up because there's Tom Wilsons out there, and he uses Tom Wilson in all sentences, pertaining to life decisions and life choices, which I love. I'm a big fan of Tom Wilson. Dangerous player, and just such an important player to have on your team. You need guys like that, and that's why when the Canucks took so much heat for signing Jay Beagle and Roussel, they're nowhere near in the class of Tom Wilson, but that's what we're trying to do. Show a little truculence, have a little toughness and speed on your team. Okay, is Bergeron playing? I believe he's in the lineup at this point, and let me just go over that one last time with the latest information. Let's see. Yes, probable for the opener, and Bergeron, he'll be in the lineup. Deep Bankroll says, I need me a hockey jersey. A lot of great jerseys to get. Mr. Goksters, personally, I love that type of hockey. You know what? That's the reason why I couldn't move forward in NHL, because there were guys out there who hit extremely hard, and my shoulder pops in and out still to this day. That's how you win hockey games. You win hockey games with with a mixture of speed, toughness, and skill. And when you can get it all in one player, you sign them long term. Daryl Lyles, I'm on the Maple Leafs game and over Flames and Sharks. That's what we have to do. Mr. Gokster says how my uncle played in Detroit back in the 60s. Rugged in the corners. Who is your uncle, Mr. Gokster? Yeah, that was a tough time. Did NHL officially start? It starts tonight, Nando. It starts tonight. So that's my second official play of the young season. No score in the first 9 minutes and 30 seconds at plus 110. That's available at Bet365. Let's keep rolling, shall we? R2D2 Finland says, Jimmy and the Lowbaggers, Finland salutes you. R2D2 Finland, you'll be glad to know, in the second round of my hockey pool last night, I pulled the trigger on Alexander Barkov. I just hope he can stay healthy for one season, because goddamn, he has got the skills, and I love these Florida Panthers. Okay, I'm trying not to talk too fast, but I'm so pumped for the opening of NHL! Flames at Canucks. This is our biggest rivalry is against the Flames. We despise these guys, but the Canucks went 1-6 in the preseason. This could be a very long season for the Knuckleheads, but you know what? We're used to it. Remember when we wore this jersey? We lost every season badly, so we're used to it. It's fine. I'm ready for the losses. I'm ready to fade the Canucks if I have to, but also, I would like to find spots on the road where we can get big scores with the Canucks, as we got last year. One of the big turnarounds in the season for me was when the Canucks went through an Eastern road trip and we started backing them and they were hitting at big plus lines. But this year, we take them on the reverse puck line and get plus 400 scores and plus 500 scores. This could be a very long season. There's no doubt about it. The most notable addition to our hockey team, Elias Peterson, 2017 first-round pick, looks like he could be the steal of that draft. Was the most valuable player in both the regular season and the playoffs in the Swedish Elite League. He also guided his team to the championship. He 24 goals and 32 assists in 44 games in Sweden, and that's not a high-scoring league. Those kind of numbers are extremely impressive. Peterson is our future. We're moving forward without the Sedins, without Linden as the president, and he is who we're hoping for. Now, we have put him between Nikolai Goldobin and Louis Eriksson, so he's going to get no help whatsoever, and he's going to have a tough season. That's the only hope, man. That's the only hope the Canucks have is Peterson. When I was breaking down these rosters, I thought to myself, I can't not take these Calgary Flames at minus 1.5 for a giant score, and that's what I'm going to do. I like the trade of Elias Lindholm and Noah Hannafin. Although, when we cap these games and we're trying to study this shit, we don't know exactly the character of some of these players. We hear rumors. We try to listen to interviews and try and get an idea. A giant red flag jumped up when the Hurricanes got rid of Noah Hannafin. I thought Noah Hannafin could be a top 10 rear guard in this league. And just like when Dougie Hamilton was let go by the Bruins, red flag there. Dougie Hamilton let go again by the Flames. I would not want Dougie Hamilton on my team. Basically, these managers, these experts are making the decisions and choices for us. And they're letting us know that Hannafin might not be as valued as we thought. Now, the Calgary Flames also got James Neal. We just simply expected that James Neal would be on that line with Monahan and Goodrow. They've never had that perfect partner on that line. That is not the case. It is Elias Lindholm, who I picked late in the hockey pool. It's dangerous taking guys like Elias Lindholm because you don't know if he's going to stay on that line. And if he's on that line, he'll produce. If he's not going to produce. Ricky Levine says Ducks missing Corey Perry will hurt under in the Ducks game. When the Sharks and the Ducks play, the under is always good, Ricky. Although I'm not going to be hammering that at this point. But I do agree with it. Robert Johnson says, I want Vancouver to surprise us this year with a new team chemistry and a lot of wins. That is just not going to happen. It just is not going to happen. I like our defense. It's good enough, but that 1-6 in the preseason is an example of what we're going to get moving forward. Jesse Smith says Calgary Flames ain't doing anything this year. They will be just like last year, trash. I'm high on these Flames, but I love hearing the breakdowns. I love having Jesse Smith and guys like this. We don't always need to be on the right side or the same side. And and I really love hearing your ideas, and I have no qualms when it goes against sort of what I'm thinking, because I know that when we work together, we will be better together. Johnny Redbeard in the house. Johnny Redbeard been absolutely killing it in NFL lately, man. But a Victoria boy, a Western Canadian boy who's going to help us cap NHL. I love seeing Johnny Redbeard in the house with us. Okay, so but those guys, Sasana says there's been no confirmation that Smith is starting, Price is starting, and Jones starting, but they are all starting. They're all going to be there. Kyle Schaefer says, anyone know if Bergeron's playing? I would bet a unit easily on just Bergeron playing alone, easily. And I bet you get minus 200. He's expected to play. This is what Bergeron does. This is what he's going to be doing all year. That's why it's dangerous to try to beat these line moves with certain older teams like the Bruins. With Krejci and Bergeron, you might want to wait, even if that costs you the market moving against you. It doesn't matter. Or sorry, that you could have got a better line earlier. It doesn't matter. With these older teams, you'll want to wait. Okay, so yes, I like that Lindholm's on the line with Monahan and Goodrow, because now the Flames have that one thing that's been missing the last few years, and that's depth at forward, something they haven't had. I think their second line will be able to produce with Tkachuk and Backlund and Frolik, and that moves James Neal to the third line and Sam Bennett on the fourth line. I absolutely love this setup for the Flames. This is the most depth they've had in years, and I believe in this team. I have futures on them to win the division at plus 560, win the conference, I don't know, something like 14-1, and to win the cup at 28-1. We can go over those if you guys want. But yes, I'm on the Flames minus 1.5 at the Canucks. Let's get that line right now. It opened at plus 227. Money's coming on the Flames, and for good reason. There's still a plus 227 at Heritage, and I will take that. Calgary Flames minus 1.5 at plus 227, going for our big scores. And that's what we did to great success last year, and that's what we'll be doing again this year. Let's get it! Jim Tolbeson joining us as well. Lamont Williams here. R2D2 Finland saying Babcock will make sure this team is ready. This Leafs team, yes. Not applicables on the Flames money line. I can understand that if you want to still be live when it goes into overtime. I have no need for that. What I have the need for is big scores, and I will be hammering that. So Flames minus 1.5 plus 227. And finally, the Andre Case injury for the Anaheim Ducks was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. I was not going to take the Sharks. I thought they might need time with Karlsson. But now, looking at this mess of a Ducks team that was outscored 16-4 while being swept by the Sharks in the opening round last year, I got to take these Sharks. Karlsson, two-time Norris Trophy winner, is just enormous. And the fact that they didn't give up much, they gave up DeMello and Tierney and draft picks and prospects, that just bodes so well for the Sharks moving forward. If you want to trust the brain trust the Sharks brain trust. Their management just seems to be doing a great job. Right when their team looked like they were going to be old and slow and bad, they seem to keep getting people guys that, Evander Kane. It's Evander Kane comes to the airport, and Joe Thornton, 38 years old, I believe he turned 39 this summer, but Joe Thornton picks him up at the airport. It's a changing of the guard. He knows that he's got to be accountable for his actions with this Sharks team. And now they have Karlsson. So since 09-10, Karlsson's rookie year, 518 points. And the second defenseman on that list is Brent Burns, 449 points. And they do things differently. Burns scores goals. Karlsson gets assists. This team just has a ton of depth. Look at this. First line, Timo Meier, Joe Thornton, Joe Pavelski. I was a little surprised to see that Couture was going to be on the second line, but, they have a plan. They move forward with it. Second line, Thomas Hertl, Logan Couture, and Kevin LeBlanc. And then third line, Evander Kane, Antti Suomela, and Jonas Donskoi. You know who could give us a good idea on Antti Suomela is R2D2 Finland. Antti Suomela was the leading scorer in the Finnish Elite League this past season. Young guy. I mean, this is just another example of the San Jose Shark brain trust bringing the right players to mix with these old guys. God, I made one just $100 bet on the Sharks to win the cup. But I really like this Sharks team. I really believe in this Sharks team. I probably should have done more, but I just don't think there's value taking futures up like plus 200 or plus 400. Yes. I like this team. So 17 games. Scotty Rock says, I need Leafs and Sharks to win tonight for a parlay to hit. Pray for me, Jimmy. I don't think you'll need prayer, man. I think you're going to hit that, Scotty. I think you're going to hit that. So yes, back to this. Evander Kane on the third line. So you got Evander Kane, Suomela, and Dunskoy on this third line. And Evander Kane scored 9 goals in his first 17 games with the Sharks last year. This is a team with depth. This is a team that's going to be scary. This is my favorite team in the Western Conference. This is my favorite team, actually, in the NHL, to be honest with you. But they're a big favorite. So, you know, so like my big balls play is taking the Flyers to win the Cup, the Panthers to win the Cup. But it's not taking the Sharks. The Sharks they have it all. They absolutely have it all. And they're going up against a team that hates them. Now, we remember Getzlaf and Perry being dominant. Both are 33, heading into their 14th season. Getzlaf coming in career low of 11 goals, but God, he's still incredible. Tons of assists, power play specialist, wins faceoffs, can be physically dominant. I love Getzlaf. I love his brother, who was a wide receiver in the CFL. I'm a big fan of this whole Getzlaf family. Now, Perry won't be in the lineup for a while. Expected to miss up to 5 months after he underwent knee surgery in September. So that's still 4 months. So you'll be lucky to see him in December. The Ducks are dealing with a ton of injuries. Case also hurt. Kessler and Eves, Ryan Kessler, Patrick Eves, both guys that they're going to count on, and they shouldn't. Kessler's done, are both dealing with injuries. I'd be surprised if Kessler even plays 30 or 35 games. The first line of Ricard, Raquel, Getzlaf, and then who's that right winger? Troy Terry. Troy Terry's on that first Ducks line. Terry started at the University of Denver the last 3 years. This is a big jump. Second line, Maxime Comtois. Gotta be careful when you pronounce his last name, Comtois, and Adam Henrique and Jacob Silverberg. This is just not strong. This is just not a strong team, and I will be taking the Sharks. Let's see, R2D2 Finland says, yes, Dunskoy and Suomela live 2 hours away from me and trained. Wow, no drinking, nothing but training will be a good line for the Sharks. This is what it means having R2D2 around with us and all these great handicappers, NHL cappers. Jesse Smith says, come on, Jimmy, what about the 6? I'm telling you, the Leafs are going to run. Oh, about being one of the top teams. Listen, when they sign Nylander, when they add another defenseman, I just think everybody and their mom is on the Leafs right now, and I know how that works. Al Hart says, Jimmy, I feel your passion for the NHL because you ain't taking a breath. You're so excited. I am, baby. I'm really, really excited. So let's go over a couple notes as well. Jason Bernard says, getting the big baller season contest. Yes, I will. I'll look that up. I will look that up, Jason Bernard. Thank you for the heads up there. So gate pass key, though, I forgot. I copied and paste this. I meant to say this in the Canucks segment, that I have a feeling that the Canucks sneak a win tonight in their opener after a chat from the Sundins about the importance of giving the fans all they have. They could be tough at home with lots of youth. Yeah, you know what? When the Canucks are big dogs, I'll be interested in them. But this is basically a pick 'em. And I just see a ton of value on the Flames right now. So let me get a line for the Sharks. -1.5 here. Sharks on the puck line. Open up plus 185. Being about a 5 to 10 cent move in their favor. Let's see, a plus 179 at Pinnacle. And a plus 180 from our friends at Intertops. Remember, Intertops is rocking with us. Please click them. Click on the link at the bottom of the screen. We love what Intertops has done. So they initially gave us a new account bonus, but we have a bunch of our cappers who have already had accounts with Intertops. They wanted a reload bonus. We asked them for a reload bonus. They came back and they gave it to us. So there's a reload bonus. And all the details are at the bottom of the screen here, at the bottom on the link, and jump on. And that reload bonus is good till the Super Bowl. Reef New York City said Cubs suck. Whoever backed them, terrible read. Hey man, it went 13 innings. But I hear you. Okay, so Sharks -1.5 at plus 180. The big boy plus lines are already coming up. This is excitement on ice. So to go over my plays again, I'm on the Leafs -1.5 at plus 140. I'm on the Capitals no score in the first at plus 110. I'm on the Flames -1.5 at plus 227. And I'm on the Sharks -1.5 at plus 180. 4 plus lines. Get used to it. Big boy dog lines all season long. That's how we do here on Low Shack in the Bag. And that's how we did last year when Pete and I combined were just under 60 units plus for the season. I hit a high water mark at plus 42.5, and that's with a bad read on the Golden Knights, and that's with getting killed in the playoffs. I expect more. After watching Nostra do his grind for plus 100 units, that's my goal this year, 100 units in NHL. Let's get after it! All right, that's it. That's what's good. Those are my plays. 4 giant. Not 4 giant because one's plus 110 and one's plus 140, but 4 plus lines. Let's get this paper and let's move on to the wild card game. Very excited about this wild card game. A's at Yankees. As you all know, I have 2 futures that I made, made official picks on the show. One was early in the year. I took the Yankees to win the World Series at plus 600. Put $300 on it and 1 unit here, and then it's not something I'm really believing in, but we'll see. And then the A's, I took them at 50-1 to win the West. I took them at 100 to 1, to win the AL. Now that's just with $100, but still, that would be extremely glorious. And I made an official pick on the show that could change around my whole baseball season. I'm not going to. Jay Peach says, A's aren't winning. Stop being simple. Well, let's break this game down in its entirety and hear what you guys have to say. Not applicable says Calgary beats Vancouver by a field goal. My bet. You know what? I don't want to hate on a young team making their home debut because I just thought they'd be bigger dogs than they are. And at this point, I see all the value on these Calgary Flames. Gate Pasky says, Jimmy, your Vegas fade may be play early while the value is there. Flyers dog tomorrow night. Love it. You know I'll be on those Flyers early. Now, I might not be. Couturier is possibly not in the lineup, which means we'll be dealing with Nolan. And Nolan got very hot last year, but you're asking a lot of a 19-year-old. And so to be honest with you, if Couturier is not in the lineup, I will not take the Flyers, but we'll get to that tomorrow. Jansen Bonds says, Jimmy buying me a Jameson once his Yankees future wins. Jansen Bonds, and I'll do more than that. I will buy you a steak dinner in Toronto if that hits. I loved hanging out with you when we got all the low baggers got together. Okay, so let's stay baseball, and I don't want to lose my excitement that I have for hockey season, but goddamn, hockey's back, baby! Okay, A's, Yankees, game time 69 Fahrenheit, wind blowing in at 4 miles per hour. The teams split their 6 regular season games. The A's finished the season on a 63-29 run. This is not important. You guys all know this stuff. Now, let's talk about stuff that we need to study to figure out how to make money on this game. The A's used the opener 9 times in September. They'll be doing it here. They'll be doing it here with Hendricks. They went 4-5, but that's a little deceiving win-loss record because they had a 1.86 ERA in those games. Hendricks started 8 times. Hendricks has had a crazy, David H., I checked that out. David H. sending me a horseplay that hit last night. I absolutely love it. God, I can't wait till we hit the Breeders' Cup, which is only in a few weeks. Think I'm excited for a hockey season. Wait till you see me for the Breeders' Cup. Yeah! Okay, Hendricks had a wild season. Let's talk about Hendricks a little bit. So 0-1 in 8 opening starting games with a 2.08 ERA. And he did that against the Yankees and threw 11 pitches to get through the first inning. Gave up no runs, no hits. Now, Hendricks had this crazy season, right? He was designated for assignment on June 25th. And the Blue Jays fans remember him. We liked him. I mean, this guy throws 95, and he's got movement. We liked Hendricks, and we were upset when we got rid of him. He had a 7.36 ERA, designated for assignment. Nobody wanted him. Then he went down to AAA Nashville and looked very good. 1.38 ERA in 12 appearances when he came back to the majors. Overall, 4.13 ERA, but that doesn't tell the story. He was lights out. 1.38 ERA in 12 appearances when he came back. So now let's talk about Sevy. Why Severino? Okay. DJ Big Boss go big. Bob Baffert in the Breeders' Cup. You know what? It's not a Baffert horse that's going to be the favorite in the Classic. It's going to be Accelerate. And I've been doing deep dives on Accelerate because I want to fade him. That's how we make money in the Breeders' Cup. We take big dog lines, and that's what I'm going to do. Accelerate's going to be a huge favorite, and I will be fading him in the Classic. So big Bob Baffert, he's going to have West Coast, who'll probably be the 3rd favorite, I would guess. A big West Coast had a nice. I keep almost saying the big boss, but West Coast had a nice race coming back, and he'll be dangerous. Probably be my triactors, but we'll get to that another time. Okay, let's do this. Why Severino? Okay? Why? Ralph Rogers back with us. Let's say yes. Let's get back to that. Why Severino? So a very good article came out on MLB.com that you can read. And this was their explanation of why starting Severino. Because when we think of Severino, we think 1-1, 5.63 ERA, 4 postseason starts. Well, you remember him last year in the wild card game. He got rocked. He got 1 out, allowed 3 runs. The Yankees went to their bullpen after 1 out. Severino is in because of his high average fastball velocity. Oh, nice. Vancouver Brooks says, Jimmy dropping in to give huge props for that Canucks gear on the show. Repping our city proud, fired up. Hockey, but our Nucks are a fade city. Let's crush hockey. Vancouver Brooks, I love having you join us. Yes, we're used to losing. And the only way to be a Stanley Cup winner, it looks like, is to be last and to get the first overall picks, get the top 5 draft picks, and build around that. Marco Lou says, do you take jockey stats into your handicapping? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I believe that's a little more important at the smaller B and C tracks than it actually is at the A tracks. And we can get over that. But yeah, jockey is extremely important. And a hot jockey and a hot jockey trainer combination is crucial. They're all important things. I think in horse racing, the one thing is you want to do is you don't want to take one stat or one note and give it too much importance in comparison to everything. You want to really give all these things pretty much the same amount of belief or the same amount of care. So, instead of taking the jockey too far. But yeah, the jockey is extremely important. Okay. Let's go. Jansen Bonds and Sevi is rested over Hap. This is it. Eddie Oler said, Jimmy ever play sports action in BC? Got the tie yesterday. 2 Rockets. Nice. I don't play sports action or what do we call it in Toronto? Pro line. I don't really enjoy it very much. But let's talk about why. Oh, Jay Peach, nothing better than the first dab of the morning. I wouldn't know what that was like right now, but that does sound very nice, Jay Peach. Highest fastball velocity among starting pitchers is the reason why Severino is starting. A very interesting stat is that the A's are one of the best hitting teams in baseball against lower velocity fastballs, but against high velocity, the kind that Severino has, they're one of the worst. And there's an article on MLB.com about it. Luis Severino, 97.6 miles per hour average fastball, highest in the league. Syndergaard second, Eovaldi third. Fourth was a tie between Cole and Glasnow. So against fastballs below 97 miles per hour, the A's had their XWOBA of 391. That's the second highest of any team in the league behind, you probably guessed it, the Boston Red Sox. So slower fastballs, the A's rake. Now, against fastballs throwing 97 miles per hour or harder, they had the 3rd worst mark of any team in the entire league, ahead of only the San Francisco Giants and the Tampa Bay Rays. So that is the reason why Severino is starting. And I did not expect him to. But that is the reason why he's starting. Okay, let's deeper dive into Severino. 19-8, 3.39 ERA, 1.14 whip. Just like Hendricks, it doesn't really tell the whole story. Because before the All-Star break, Severino was 14-2 with a 2.31 ERA and 20 starts. After the break, 5-6 with a 5.57 ERA. Those 12 starts. He allowed 1 run and 5 hits over 6 innings while getting a win on May 13th over Oakland. But then, second half, he got lit up by these A's. 6 runs and 2 2/3 of an 8-2 loss. Severino rebounded okay after that loss, went 2-1 with a 2.04 ERA over his final 3 starts. The A's hit righties. I think this comes down to me not trusting Severino in big games. Remember, Severino was lights out to start the season. Then he went into Boston for that huge series. And I believe it was Tomor who said, Sevy doesn't step up in these situations. Sevy got rocked in that game. Now, I'm not going to bother. Wow, G&G says, what a beautiful parlay. Leafs, Flames, Sharks. I absolutely love with that. I think that's a great parlay, too. Scotty Rock Forever says, Sevy hasn't been the same pitcher since the All-Star break. Listen, it's not applicable, says Severino puts up a good performance. Jay Peach says, Tanaka starting would be an easy W. I would have, you know what? This was a tough decision. Tanaka, Hap, Severino. But I don't trust Severino in these big game spots. And I have no reason to put money on this game. I've got futures on both sides. I'll be cheering for the A's heavy. I have no reason to make a move. But that's the reason why Severino's in the lineup. And I like it. I think that the A's can get to him. Even though he has those high-velocity fastballs that the stats tell us the A's have a problem with. Eddie Euler says A's are going to use all of their pitchers if necessary. Yes, they are. Crypto Capper says, I've been cashing on the A's for the past 3 months. I'm going back to the A's. Corey Max says Leafs, Flames, and who missed the last team in the parlay mentioned? It's the Shark. Eddie Euler says Canucks always screw me. Hope not tonight. I was very hesitant to make this bet, but when I broke down the rosters, I had to make it. Raul Rogers rolling my Yanks though. My love. I'm not betting from a gambler's perspective today, just rolling with my team. Diehard Yank fan. Oh, I ain't a diehard Yank fan for nothing. This is fun, man. This A's at Yankees is going to be really fun. If you're backing this A's team, you want it to be in New York. You want it to be in a stadium where they can get homer after homer in. I really, I like. If I was going to make a bet here, I would make it on the A's just because I think they have more value here, and I don't trust Severino in these big games. So we will see. We will see. Roland Prather says, any NBA picks? You know what a great, huge value to the Low Shack and the Bag Show is that we have some of the great cappers that are on King's Court that join us all the time. And they've been hammering and being very successful with their in-plays and with their preseason action. And I've been just kind of watching and studying at this point. Scotty Rock Forever says you should have wore your A's hat today. Would have went well with the hockey jersey. You were right. I should have. Anil Frank says A's all day. Blaker says trap game. A's win. Hopefully that will be the case. Because I'm not. It doesn't make sense to deliver any hedging yet. But I will get $10,000 if the A's win the AL, and hedging will come into play as soon as if that happens. So Kobe Valentine joining us. We'll be on Oakland Moneyline tonight. Teddy B says, Jimmy, you probably talked about this. Are you on the Leafs -1.5? Seems everyone's on Toronto. It's not as much. Yes, everyone's on Toronto, but I tell you what I'm more on. I'm more on the fade the Habs train. Carlos Luis says Oakland has no pressure, holds total value, Oakland Moneyline. Crypto Capper says A's power will come to play tonight. I love it. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait to watch this game, and I will be cheering for the A's heavy. So that's it. That's the action. So let's just take a quick look at the lines and the line movement for that game. Let's first go with the money line for the A's. Opened at +165 and a slight line movement, 5 cents or so on the A's. You could now, it opened at Pinnacle +165. Now you get +163 at Pinnacle. Your best line would be +166 at Bet Online, also at UWager. Let's just take a quick look, see if the Greek is giving us anything nice. +161. Not quite as nice as the other books. And if you want to back the Yankees, opened at -180. Now it's again -176, -170. So really, there's been no movement. I take that back because there's been a 5 cent line movement with the Yankees as well. So there's been no line movement. Your best line is a bookmaker -175, if you want the Yankees, and the Greeks hanging at -178. And then when we look at the total, a lot of people interested in the over here. It's at 8.5, and line movement towards the under. It was originally juiced to the over, no longer. Even bookmakers moved down to 8. Wow, very, very interesting. So movement towards the under. Jeffrey S. says Yankees will win. Yenny Toon says Jimmy will lose. Yankees will win. And and G&G. My man G&G says A's first run and team total over 3.5. Book it. Ooh, I like that team total over. Crypto Capper says Astros will win the AL and will repeat as champions. And Elio Rodriguez says I think team total over 3 is the play. Corey Max says hold off going towards 8. Yes, I agree with that. I agree. If you're going to take the over here, I would wait. But Flipper13 says don't do it. Bet the under. Well, he doesn't say don't do it. He just says bet the under in baseball games today. Flipper13 is a very kind, sharp capper. He doesn't tell you don't do certain things. He just tells you what he thinks is going to happen. Much love and shout out to my man Flipper13. All right. Raul Rogers says good luck to all, regardless whether Yanks win or Oakland wins. Shout out to my man, Raul Rogers. What a good vibe we have in the day to start the NHL season. Much love to you guys. Raul Rogers says tonight will be so much fun. It will. It will. Okay, so let's move on to NFL. And good luck to you guys. Just like Raul says, he said that perfectly. Let's move on to NFL, where I think there's a lot of things. And Red Girl letting us know. I'd love to hear what Red Girl's on. She says taking the team total over. So I wonder, is that Red Girl? I can't. Red Girl, is that with the A's? Sorry, I missed it. Trying to keep up with everything here. Nando Sueva says Yankees batters are so talented, or too talented to lose to Oakland. Eddie Euler says Caps minus 1.5 looks risky, and we know that Sportsbit's play of the day is on the Bruins. Okay, let's move on to NFL happily. So I did make 4 plays, and let's focus on the last 6 or 7 games because we didn't really get to them, although we'll get to them all over again, and we'll hammer this Thursday night hard. The big thing for me is it looks like T.Y. Hilton won't play, and Kenny Moore is in concussion protocol. We need information I really want Kenny Moore, and the line probably will tell us what's going on here. Let's get to it. The line will tell us what's going on in Oakland, in Indianapolis. Very little. Wow, money coming in on Indianapolis. Shocking. I thought with the announcement of Hilton that would go to 11. But okay. So my 4 plays so far are Jaguars +3 at +101. Let's take a quick look at the line movement there. Jaguars +3 at 101. Wow, I could have got better if I waited till today. +103 now at Pinnacle. Interesting. And then my next play was Titans -3 at -120. Let's take a quick look there. Titans, Tennessee -120. Wow. Can't get that anymore. Can't get that anymore. If you want even 5 dimes, is the only one allowing a -3. Oh, wow. Is there no more -3s? No, there still is at the Greek. If you want the Titans, get it at the Greek immediately. -120 is real nice. Okay, and then I'm also officially on the Bengals -6 at -110. Let's take a quick look at that. Can you get a -6? Doesn't look like you can. Wow, no more -6s on the board. Love it. Love it. And then finally, I am on the Eagles -3 at -115. Take a quick look at that. Eagles -3 at -115. Can you still get that anywhere? The Greek offering a -125. And yeah, cannot get a -115 anymore. Beaten line moves and feeling good about that. Okay. Colby talking about no Fournette for the Jags. Yeldon will do the job. And, frankly, we don't want a hobbling Fournette out there. We'd prefer that he gets healthy. Oh, wow. +3.5 Jags at Heritage. What did I get it at? Did I only get him at +3? Damn it. At +101. Yes, I guess that Fournette decision. Wow, +3.5 at Heritage. Great call. Great call, Eddie Euler. Great call. Lions over Oilers doesn't sound bad. Yes. I like that play and I want to make that play. Oh, Von Polo liking Maryland at +17. We'll get to college football very soon. But yeah, I like the Lions here. I like them quite a bit. And I'm going to take them. Let's see if there's been any more line movement. I know that public money will come in on the Packers, but doesn't look like it's happening. Wow. But there's a +1.5 still hanging at Intertops. God, I wonder if I should take that now. Kobe Valentine says, Jeff, I like Green Bay. Rodgers just seemed to do wonderful things there. Detroit just sucks for some. This is a different team, and Patricia's making adjustments that I believe in. Also, Rodgers' knee in this dome, I think, will not go well. So let's quickly talk about that game. I really like the Lions here, and I'm going to take them. Maybe it's time to take them right now. Open at a pick 'em. Movement towards the Packers, and now it looks like it's coming back to the Lions. Packers beat up a bad team in their win against the Bills. Their offense just didn't look good. Now, our Cobb and Allison, they're both questionable. They're big pieces. Jay Peach says, Patricia's a natural loser. Can't trust the Lions ever. You know what? I'm being very impressed with how they bounced back from that terrible opening game. I love the way Kerryon Johnson looks. The main point for me is this. The Lions' bad run defense is not going to get assaulted by this terrible Packers running game. And their great pass defense, number 1 in the league, is going to be able to defend Rodgers as best as any team can. So, yes, I like the Lions here, and I'm going to back them. Maybe I should just back them right now. Getting that +1.5, that looks like it might not be around for long. I really thought it was going to be around for a while. Lions +1.5. Maybe I should just grab it from Intertops right now. I believe in this spot. I'm going to. What if Cobb and Allison both don't play? and they're not big enough to change. You know what? I'm going to do it now. I'm going to lock in the Lions plus 1.5. Sorry, yes, plus 1.5 at minus 110. Available at Intertops. Underdog saying carry on for real. Yeah, I really like the way it looks. Intertops is giving me plus 110 at minus 110. And I'm going to take, or sorry, plus 1.5 at minus 110. I'm going to take it. Okay. Yeah, and Corey Mack says headed to a pick'em. That's my fear, and that's why I jumped on it right now. And thank you for saying that to me, and that makes me happy to make the play. Oh, let's see what Dom has to say. KC so hard to play, and the noise alone gives quarterback fits with snap counts. KC most impressive win was Monday. Those are good points. Ulysses Hayes, God, nice to have Peanut back. Ulysses Hayes, welcome back. Hockey season, baby. Yes. Okay. Now let's talk about the games we didn't hit hard enough. And first off, I think I think the Rams, Cowboys, Texans, Redskins, Saints, we didn't hit hard enough. Is there a game you guys want to talk about more than others? Ulysses Hayes says Chargers. Yeah, I think the Chargers team total over could be a low-hanging situation. And I'll get on Bet Online for the for before the late show pops off, so we know exactly what we're getting. But I think the Chargers team total over is a nice spot. Chargers open at -7. Now it went down to -5. See if there's been any change there. Yeah, there's been no change there. Although Pinnacle. Wow, continuing that move. Now Oakland is a +5 when it opened at +7. Let's do it. Let's keep rolling here. David H says, lock in, Jimmy. Detroit. Good. I'm happy to see you guys backing this. Isaac Higgins says, take the Raiders at +5. Fan advantage for opposing team when Chargers playing at home. Fan base huge for visitors. You know what, Isaac Higgins? The Chargers just don't seem to be able to smash opponents. And this has been a problem for a little while. But let's break this game down a little more. I think having Lugit back will be a big lift for these Chargers. Derwin James also is playing very good football. He will end up being a top 5 safety in this league. Second straight home game. We know that the home game's not quite as important. Raiders rarely or barely beat the Browns at home. They should be 0-4. Their offense is so consistent. Can we trust this Raiders offense to have 2 big games in a row? Kobe Valentine says, love Oakland. Chargers don't blow anyone out. Yeah, we just touched on that. Leroy Flood on the Cowboys money line. Let's get to that game next. Carlos Luger says Chargers Raiders total goes over. That is something that I did find interesting. And the line movement is saying that. Let's get a quick look at what the total is here. If it's kept moving from 53.5. Now it's 53.5 completely across the board. Yeah, I don't doubt that. And Big Ragu says Chargers play to their opponent's level up or down. I think that's a really good point as well. Oh, wait. Have fun, Dom. What's Dom doing? I'm going to the Denver Jet game. Oh, God, that would be fun to go with you, Dom. What a great, great guy. I had so much fun running with you. Jay Pete says Miami should have kept Miller. Fuck both teams up now. Raiders, Chargers. Listen, I think the Chargers team total over is a spot I'm going to hammer. I'm concerned. I guess I kind of agree with you guys that the Raiders plus the points do have value. I just think they're so inconsistent and don't trust them. So that's it. So I'm on Chargers team total over. Listen, I like the 49ers here as a home favorite. And I know you guys might be scratching your head. Why take a bad team as a home favorite? Let's see what has happened with this point spread here. I just feel like if 4.5's across the board right now, if Staley, Richburg, and McGlinchey are in the lineup, they're 3 offensive linemen, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take this. And this was a play that Donnie Rightside backed on the Audible on Tuesday. I don't trust Rosen. He did absolutely nothing until Earl Thomas got hurt. And I just feel like the Niners have the perfect run defense that can stop David Johnson. I mean, Reuben Foster and Fred Warner are the best parts of the San Francisco 49er team. So I find this 49ers handling their business very exciting. Sportsbook Red joining us. Love having him. Going to continue to ride with this Q's and Kentucky gravy train. Sportsbook Red, we talked about it last night. What do you think about this Syracuse line? Dropping. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And we'll get to that shortly, but I'd love to hear what you have to say about that. Found that very interesting. Wanted to jump all over. Kobe Valentine said Bruins are 0-6 in Washington last 6. Look, the Bruins have lost, what 14 straight or 12 or 14 straight against Washington. Underdog said Beathard didn't look that bad. Listen, Beathard knows this Shanahan offense very well. And I should have backed the 49ers last week, knowing that. Okay, Cowboys at Texans. This is a game we haven't hammered enough. Let's talk about it. Open at Texans -3. Now there's -3.5. Let's see if that stayed that way. Yes. Oh, no, there's threes. Threes at Bookmaker. Threes at UWager. Wow. Wow, okay, interesting. Total open at 45. Now there's 45.5. I find the under appealing, but I'm a little nervous. Will Texas build off last week's showing? I mean, that's the big question here. Texas will probably start believing in themselves. Will Watt and Clowney start playing well eventually? I'm not sure. I don't know if they will. Injuries have slowed them both down. Cowboys won a big game over the Lions. Can the Dallas offense compete with the Texans offense? I thought Zeke played better last week. And I hate on Zeke all the time. Can the Houston D-line stop Zeke? Sean Lee will not be back this week. They handled his loss, I guess, better than I expected. They still allowed 24 points. Cowboys secondary is overachieving. Rod Marinelli is an incredible defensive coordinator. As much as I hate on Dak, there's no hating on Marinelli. He just does a hell of a job and always gets the most out of his defenses. Corey Mack says the Texas A&M has to be a trap game. Has to be. I'm laying off, but Kentucky backers should be weary. Vegas passing out +200 to an undefeated team. No way. That's a very interesting point. Great point, Corey Mack. God, love having you here. I don't think I'm going to make a move on this. I have questions about this Texas team, Houston team. I don't know exactly what we're going to get. But I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this. DJ Big Boss says, fade Cowboys without Sean Lee every time. Listen, that's what I do. That's what I do. And yes, it worked with the Lions, but it worked just barely. And I was, sort of impressed with Dak. Red Girl saying Washington money line and Kobe backing that. That's going heads up with against the play of the day from Sportsbit. And Not Applicable says Cowboys suck. Jansen Bonson says Zeke hurting a bit. Very interesting. Says he's banged up. And Gas Station Susie saying if you like the Raiders, take them first half. I would like to fade the Cowboys again. Don't get me wrong. And there are just threes on the board. I just don't know if I should trust this Texans team. And nothing makes me happier than fading the Cowboys. I would need to study this game a little more. Okay. And then Redskins at Saints. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this because Leroy Flood saying it didn't work Sunday. Yeah, the Lions covered. Lions covered. Everybody got them at +3, and they won by 2. So, but yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Redskins at Saints. I think that the Redskins are being totally disrespected here. Remember, the two teams coming off byes. This is the first week where if two teams any teams coming off byes, there's Redskins and Panthers. Opened at -7, now -6.5. So total opened at 52. Now there's 52.5. Redskins, I'm telling you, are just getting no respect. And Ulysses Hayes is on the Saints money line. I mean, that's not a play I want to make. They're just too big favorites. I'm wondering what Nutflush says. Cowboys should have lost to Detroit. I agree. Kobe Valentine, Ingram back for the Saints. They will win 44-21. See, I don't know, Kobe. I just feel like people just continually disrespect this Redskins defense. And they're healthy for the first time in a long time. This Saints team just played against a bad Giants offense. Now, the question is, did the Saints defense turn a corner last week? And that will be the tale of the game. Did they turn a corner last week? You know what? I lean towards the Redskins here. The bye week will help guys like Adrian Peterson. I just think they're getting too many points. I lean towards the Redskins. Crypto Capper like in the over in the Dallas-Houston game. Interleague NFL game usually go over. Leroy Flood said they didn't. Are you? I think we're having a conversation here, Leroy Flood, about the Lions covered. They lost by 2. They were 3-point dogs. I cashed and I know I cashed because I went sadly 2-4 with a push last week. Robbie Tagola, man, nice to have Robbie back. Says Washington +6.5 is great value. They have a great secondary coming off a bye. Their offense is better than the Giants. I agree. Kobe says Saints played outdoors though and won. That's huge momentum for New Orleans. Peterson sucks. Washington's not a good team and are showing it week in and week out. I don't agree. Crypto Capper says Saints D is terrible. I'll take the Skins to keep it close. G said I think the Redskins can upset and win outright. Redskins will slow this game down under, says Ulysses. maybe Leroy, maybe you're talking to somebody else and I'm just jumping into the conversation. Sorry, running solo and trying to get the most out of the chat as possible. It's not easy. So apologize, Leroy, if you're talking to somebody else. Yeah, I like the Redskins, and I believe that will be a play that I will make. So let's just talk quickly. I'm interested in the Colts, but I need to know the injury situation. Will Doyle miss a third game? Is Hilton out for sure? And what's going to go on with Kenny Moore? The Browns is scary to me. Sportsbook Red, beautiful answering. You know what? I'm going to copy and paste. We'll start with the Syracuse game. We'll start with the Syracuse game when we get into college football, which we'll do in seconds. I just want to go over my leans and hear what you guys have to say. Sportsbook Red said, okay, no, we're going to get it. Nufflush says, Saints struggling to score in the red zone, washing off by. The defense will be an advantage. I agree. Al Hart says, if the Saints are playing at home, I think they go over. Drew Brees plays his best games at home. Okay, so quickly, the Browns line, I just feel is so trappy. They're asking for people to bet the Ravens, begging for people to bet the Ravens. And that makes me find the Browns sort of appealing. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that game. Already on the Jags, already on the Titans. I am going to take the Panthers to smash the Giants in the mouth this week. I just feel like this Giants team can't score. You know, the last time they scored 30 points was Week 17, 2015. They're 4-16 over their last 20, averaging 15 points a game. They miss Evan Ingram badly. But I want to know what's going on with Olivier Vernon. So I'm going to wait. Cody Valentine said Washington horrible on Monday night, something like 7-19. Those are the stats that don't really concern me. Kuechly healthy, and this is a good defense when he's in the lineup. You know, Kuechly and Lee are so important to their defenses, and when either or, and they're so injury prone, when either or is out of the lineup, I feel like they're a good fade. Not applicable hammering Calgary and San Jose. I like it. I'm getting less. I'm believing less and less in this Broncos spot. Although I did like it. I just thought Miller and Chubb would be chasing Darnold all over the field. But I really like this Jets defense. Maybe the under is the play. R2D2 Philin says, Jimmy, I like that Panthers pick. Yeah, I think they're going to smash the Giants in the mouth. Eddie Oiler saying Eli's old and slow. You got it. Underdog says Panthers. Yes, New York Giants offense looks not very good. Adam Lopez said the Q's line jumped out to me too. Yeah, it jumped out to everybody. So I find the Falcons less and less appealing the more we cap, and we'll get into this on the late show. I have added in on the Lions at plus 1.5. I wonder, is the Panthers a spot that I should lock in now? I mean, do you think that it's going to get the 7.5? Because they're no longer 6.5. That's a big, and Pete talked about it when I took the Vikings against the Rams. He said that half point, the most important half point at 7 is the most important half point in football, and it was in that game. Because I got him plus 7.5. The Vikes in that covered. Let's see. It's -7, but it's just minus 102 here at Pinnacle. I think I should make that play and make that move. But Ulysses Hayes is on the Giants plus 7. Ulysses Hayes doesn't trust the Panthers. I do. Cormac says, let's go, Cam and company. My Panthers need to capitalize off their bye. And yes, nice lean on the under. Denver and the Jets. Maybe that is it. Maybe that's the best way to do that game. I'm disliking. I like the Broncos quite a bit, and I'm liking them less and less. Okay, we'll break these games down in their entirety. I want to do a heavy NFL show today because moving forward, we're going to have full NHL cards and full other things. So I really want to spend our afternoons hammering NFL. So let's really, really do that. Yes, I'm liking the under. Has there been movement on that under? It opened at 42.5 total in that. Denver Jets, still 42.5. There's been no line movement in that game. Wild. Panthers roll says not applicable. You know what? I think it's time to get them at -7. I really do. Big Ragoo says won't move off 7. Books can be middled. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm going to jump on the Panthers now and take them at 7. I really like this spot coming off a bye to smash the Giants in the mouth. Let's do it. Let's jump on it here. Point spreads. Panthers -7 at -102. Available at Pinnacle. I think that's going to be the play. Let's see what the Greek is hanging. A -105. Okay, let's do it. I'm on the Panthers -7 at -102. Panthers -7 official pick, and I will bet this in the afternoon. Okay. And Thomas says I'm on the Saints. Saints should be blowing people out, but they haven't been efficient in the red zone. Ingram back should help. Good work, Israel Williams, getting them at 6.5. Ulysses Hayes saying like those hockey picks. Lock those in. Yes, I haven't bet the bottom three, but I destroyed the line move in the Leafs game, which makes me happy. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the Syracuse spot. Very interesting spot here. Sportsbook Red says, Book see a regression coming from Q's after letting that game slip out of their hands last week. If they convert TDs instead of field goals, they would have run away with that game. Q's will crush Pittsburgh. I mean, that's what we all think, but money keeps coming in on Pittsburgh. Let's go to college football lines right now. I just can't understand why that is. I just don't see it being as big of a letdown spot as everybody is making it out to be. Syracuse, Pittsburgh, -3.5. Now there's -4s coming back. So maybe the time to grab -3.5 is right now. Maybe there'll be -4s by the afternoon. Okay, let's talk. Brian Clark liking Texas +8. I was very disappointed with this Texas second half last week, but they are a good team when they have their pedal to the metal. I too like Texas right now. Let's take a quick look at what's going on with that line. That's a big boys game here. And I'd love to hear what Big Ragu has to say about Texas. He had that great read in the TCU Texas game. Oakland at Texas, so we're dealing with another situation with Texas a home dog. We know how well they've handled being in that situation. Yes, I agree, Brian. I think that Texas plus is pretty nice. Average capper liking Hawaii -3. Average capper really let us down. Hawaii really let us Hawaii really let us down last week. We thought they were going to be able to take care of San Jose State, and they weren't able to. Mr. Gokser giving a shout out. Much love. Thank you, Underdog, as well. And saying, love Tom Herman. Yeah, Herman just seems to do the job. Not applicable. Beginning to think Jessica is with Pete. DJ Big Boss likes Alabama, covering the 34.5. My man on Twitter, and it's Joey Kerr, who I think might be with us right now. It was been a great follow. I've been following him for a while and really enjoying his insights. He's been taking Alabama first half every game and cashing every single game. Again, last week, they don't cover the full game, but they easily cashed the first half. So shout out to Joey Kerr and follow him on Twitter. I agree. Jansen Bonson says Oklahoma at home, easy win. And Sean Glass liking Illinois, excuse me. Sound like a Canadian when I say that. Let's do some more copying and pasting. Okay, here we go. Copy and paste those comments so I can study them more. Crypto Capper. Tom Herman as a dog is great. Israel Williams, +8 is good value with Herman's history as a home dog. Texas is not playing at home. Oh, shit, really? I thought... Okay, where is that game playing at is that... Really? Is that... Oh, it's at a neutral field in Dallas. Okay. Let's see. DT Doug's Herman as a dog is a tired angle. He's not sneaking up on anyone at Texas. We talked about that in the TCU thing when he managed to handle his business. Not Flush Allen says this is a perfect spot for Michigan to destroy Maryland. They're going to air it out and put up a ton of points. They will make Harbaugh look good, and then they won't cover in their next big opponent. Interesting. We've heard both sides of that game. We've heard people believing in Michigan. We've heard people believing in Maryland. And Jens Monson says, yes, my bad, neutral side. Okay, thank you guys for jumping on that. DJ Big Boss giving Joey Kerr a big up. Yeah, definitely. Vegas Gun saying Pete is with Jessica, laughing out loud. I think Jessica will be back, is spreading her hate. That's what she does, and she cares about this show very, very much. David H., Wisconsin -21. Ulysses Hayes saying take Wyoming. Let's see. Let's do one more comment on. Okay, but also, you know what, you guys? If we can talk more about the Syracuse game in the afternoon show? I feel like it's just a strange, trappy line. Cormax says I think Texas is too much money line to value to pass on, guys. Rivalry game. OU slightly overrated in my opinion. Input. Yes, let's hammer that Texas game more in the late show. That's what I'll do. I'll do a quick roll through because I'm going to have a little bit of time here. I will be watching the great number Juan shoot his video. He is now 3-0. Our Argentinian soccer expert is 3-0 plus 3.25 units, just cashed with a plus 125. And Elio Rodriguez giving us the tips for the sharp that he runs with, saying big bet on over 51 in Northern Illinois. I will take a good look at that. Thank you for the heads up there, Elio Rodriguez. What a treat it is to run with you guys. Man. Not applicable says when Pete comes back, she will be here day one. I know, man. Tomer says, I like to bet teams after they are flat and almost lose. Michigan was completely flat against Northwestern. I think they bounce back here. I get it. Andrew Klein, Jimmy, I go to Pitt. They can't beat any decent opponent. Oh man, isn't that the beauty of this show? We got guys like Andrew Klein, who goes to Pitt, giving us this info. That's something that we just have to jump on. Thank you, Andrew Klein, for coming in. Comic Ricky's on Syracuse 3.5. Will the 3.5 stay on the board? You know what, Andrew Klein? I'm going to let Andrew Klein push me over the top here. I've wanted to take Syracuse all week, and I'm worried that the 3.5s won't be around very long. So let's take that. My first official play of the week in college football. Minus 3.5 at minus 110. Here being hung at Pinnacle. And let's just take a quick look at what our friends at the Greek are hanging. The Greek are hanging the same thing, minus 3.5 at minus. So I'm in Syracuse, minus 3.5 at minus 110. And shout out for pushing me over the top. Okay, my man Noah Lastark wants me to review my NHL picks. 4+ lines and get used to that, baby. I wish I had the confidence to do that in baseball, and I won't let that happen next year. Watching Nostra Toda hit at like 44% and be up 100 units. I know hockey, so well. I mean, my whole life has been wrapped around the sport, and when you know a sport inside and out, you can take these dogs with tons of confidence. And it's not like I don't know baseball. I know baseball so well, and that's what drove me crazy. I guess I just have more balls in hockey than I do in baseball, something I really need to fix next year. But yes, hockey plays all plus lines. Leafs minus 1.5 at plus 140. Bruins Capitals, no score in the first 9 minutes and 30 seconds. At plus 110, that's heavily juiced to a score at minus 150. Flames minus 1.5 at plus 227. And Sharks minus 1.5 at plus 180. Big boy plus lines. All right, you guys, thank you so. Wow, Gas Station Sushi, Woodbine Wednesday night. I will have a pick. Beautiful Gas Station Sushi. Much love, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Sean Glass saying LSU is a great pick. Yes, I will be on LSU. Need to do a little bit more work, but just feel like they've been really undervalued and underrated moving forward. Okay, Andrew Klein says, Pitt, not much home advantage. We play in an NFL stadium, and students don't want to go anymore. Okay, you guys, much love to all of you. Thank you so much for joining Low Shack in the Bag. Pete will be back soon. He's in New York, but I will be taking care of business here. We have a big late show, and I really want to hammer that NFL card. Have yourselves a wonderful afternoon, and can't wait to see you at 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.